Hello, 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 how are you? This is Elskimmy from Bemis Crafty Corner. Today, I have a project for you that is entirely Dollar Tree stuff. And we are going to be using our hot glue gun today and some products from the Dollar Tree, which I'll show you in just a minute. And we're going to be making a water thing for birdies. My husband wanted to put some water out in the yard for the birds. We have some hummingbird feeders and we have bird feeders, but we don't have any place for the bigger birds to get water. So he wants to put something out there for the birds to, like a bird bath. And so I said I would get one put together for him. So I'm going to share that project with you guys. And I'll be back in just a minute with all of the supplies that I have for this. Be right back. Let's take a quick look at supplies. So everything here is from the Dollar Tree. So this is a plant holder from the Dollar Tree. It's the chain style. It hooks on, all of that kind of happy stuff. Now you can use either of these. This is the Nautical cotton rope that they have, or you can use this, which is their macrame cord. These are a couple of pieces of sea glass, and you could, if you wanted to, you could just use rocks. But the sea glass was actually lighter than the rocks, so that's why I went with it. And then they have this bowl. These are big bowls, and these are currently available in their summer collection. And one of their giant wreath forms. Okay? So these are the things we're going to be using today, along with a hot glue gun, some scissors, and probably a pair of pliers. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to clear some things out of the way and come back. We're going to start with the wreath and some cord and our hot glue gun. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to start off by opening up our rope, or your macrame cord, whatever it is you're using. You could even use burlap on this if you wanted to wrap it, like in some burlap ribbon. That would work as well. And so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to drop the part I don't need on the floor. I'm using my general craft scissors for this, not my good ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start, I have my silicone mat, and I'm just going to start here by putting some hot glue on one of the joints. And then I'm just going to put my rope on, and I'm just going to make sure that I put a little bit of hot glue all the way down. And then I'm going to wrap this, okay? So to do that, I'm going to take the other end and bring it back up through the middle. And if you just want to do these three, you could certainly do that, okay? But I'm going to bring this up. We are just going to wrap it on here. And every, I don't know, 2 of these, I would say add some more, every 2 loops, add some more hot glue to the next one. And that just, gives it a little bit of movement, but keeps it kind of tight together. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this all the way around. Now, if you're having problems dealing with the length of the rope, you could start in the middle of the rope and then do one side going in one direction and the other side going the other direction. Entirely up to you. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and wrap mine, and then I will be back, and we're going to move on to the next part. Okay? I'll be right back. All right. So I have gone all the way around this with my rope, and I've come to the end. I put a piece of tape here, and I'm going to cut right in the middle of the tape. There we go. Now that's going to keep that part together, but it's also going to give me a nice clean edge here. where I'm going to glue this down right in place. All right. So now I'm going to let this set for just a minute and dry, and I'll be back. We're going to start working on the hangers, so I'll be right back. All right, so our hot glue is set up, and this has all cured. So now we're going to start putting on our hanger, and we want to look at two things. One, we want to make sure that down here on the end that our hooks are facing in the right direction. And we want to make sure that we don't cross these chains. We want them to be free, okay? So what I do is I kind of lay this on here like this, and that gives me kind of a starting point. And then I'm going to start connecting this. So let me get this one fixed. There we go. All right, so our first one is going to go over in this area. And all I'm going to do is open this up and then clip this on, and then just kind of push it back. And then we're going to go about 1/3 of the distance on this side. And once you put the bowl in here, you may have to mess with this a little bit to make sure that you've got it balanced, because you're going to put water in here and you don't want it to wobble. This one I think is going to go look right here. Okay. So we have 3 of them on there. Now we're going to go ahead and set this to the side. We're going to get the bowl and our little stones out, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is our bowl, and I have some quick grip from Beacon permanent adhesive. I have checked this, and this is okay to be used on household items. And I looked, and it is, once it's dried, it's not toxic, so it's not going to hurt the birds. And we have these packages of sea glass, and this has a pretty print at the bottom, but I want to add a little bit more interest in here, so you know, like the birds have something to perch on. So we have a few of those, and I have these, and these are actually poly silver dollars that I got for a different project, and so I had them, and I figured, why not, let's use them. So I'm going to take one of these out, put that in there, and you know, we'll put our rocks around, decide how we want them, and we're going to put all these rocks, the bigger ones anyway. I don't want to put the little ones in there. I want to use just the bigger pieces. But we're going to be putting some of these rocks in. And I have a couple of packs of this so that we, you know, we have enough. And then I'm going to glue these in. And the reason that I'm doing that is so that, one, the birds have a place to perch in there if they want to get in there and sit, but also just to give, you know, a little bit of detail to the bottom. But you know, the birdies, they like to get in there and sit on things. So they like to play in the water. All right, so I'm pretty good with that. So I'm just going to use my quick grip here. We're going to start putting these down. I don't want them to fall out, and I don't want them to fall over, you know. That's small. Just going to put a little bit of this in here. all of our stones. And we are going to put the other stones in, but we're not going to glue those in. Those are going to come out. But the bigger ones that we want them to be able to perch on, we are going to glue down because we don't want the birdies to, you know, fall over. All right. Oh, forgot to glue down the sand dollar. That's the big part, right? Okay, now this takes a few hours to set up, so to speed it up, you're actually going to lift these up, expose the adhesive to air, and then put it back down, and that actually helps to speed up the process. Okay. So we're going to let all of this dry, and it'll take about 2-3 hours. You won't see that, but when I come back, you're going to see that those are all glued in. We're going to add some of the smaller pieces in here just for, you know, to give them some dimensions and depth in there. So we're going to be putting in all of this sea glass, just the smaller pieces, you know. Nothing that's too small that they could eat. We don't want to do that. And then we're going to assemble the whole thing, and you guys will see what it looks like in the end. I'll be back. All right, dry. Extra stones added. I pulled out all the tiny ones because we don't want the birdies to get those. And now we're going to put this into the frame. So all we're going to do is just move the chains out of the way, drop this in, pick it up, and that gives us a nice place for our birdies to land, and they can get water out of the pool, and then we can take this in and out and change it and clean it as we need to. All right, so that's it. That's my little bird bath. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up and get a couple of pictures just so everybody can see what it looks like in situ. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the button. Give me a thumb one way or the other. It doesn't matter. Check out the community tab or the description box below, both of which are going to give you a whole bunch of links to a lot of things going on with my channel. That's it. Till I see you again. Stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.